at this hearing called a serial sexual harasser by some far-left California Democrat named Representative Sidney Kamlager Dove, who, I'll state up front, had zero evidence to support that defamatory claim she just pulled out of thin air to smear Matt Taibbi in a congressional hearing. Matt didn't love it. Here's what happened. Watch.
The majority is relitigating a made-up conspiracy theory about a part of the State Department that no longer exists to distract from the dumpster fire foreign policy this administration is pursuing and elevating a serial sexual harasser as their star witness in the process. Mr. Chair, I request unanimous consent to enter into the record 2 articles about the Republican witness Matt Taibbi. The first is a Chicago Reader article entitled 20 Years Ago in Moscow, Matt Taibbi was a misogynist a-hole and possibly worse, and a Washington Post article titled The 2 Expat Bros Who Terrorized Women Correspondents in Moscow.
So you did what very few people will do when they've been smeared. And you actually filed a lawsuit because while she has a congressional privilege to say all sorts of nonsense when she's in that seat, she repeated the smears on social media. I looked into this recently, and the privilege still may exist, but not to the same extent as it does when they're in their congressional seat. She exposed herself by repeating that online, and you're suing her for $10 million. So what's behind that? Why did you decide to do that?
Well, when this story first came out in 2017, it's based on a single passage in a book that I co-wrote with my former co-editor in Moscow, and it's completely fictional, like almost everything else in The Exile. I mean, The Exile was a satirical newspaper where everything was basically backwards. The whole idea was an unnewspaper. So, like, for instance, the corrections always referred to things that had never actually been in the newspaper. Most of the bylines were of fake people describing fake adventures. And in one passage, Mark described something that it didn't happen. It's a massive exaggeration of something. And so all the people who were involved were eventually contacted at that time. They recanted. There were corrections at the time. I was in litigation with some newspapers at the time. That's all been done and finished. And nobody's ever accused me of sexual harassment here or in Russia.
Not even during the Me Too movement.
None of that stuff.